Hi guys and welcome to Garage Reviews. So I didn't plan to see this movie at all, but I watched all the other reviews of Grace Reynolds, Jeremy James, and other reviews. Everyone was super excited about the film. They said that it was super awesome, amazing, incredible. Just didn't expect a movie like this. So I just decided to go and see it. So here is my review. So Edge of Tomorrow starts. Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, two actors that I actually pretty much appreciate, especially Emily Blunt. And of course, I can honestly say that I also appreciate a lot Tom Cruise because all that he have done, the dedication for every role, all the effort that he puts in, and just amazing. And I have to give him that. He's really one of the best actors ever. Emily Blunt, she is one of those actresses that is already an A-lister and she just embodies what an A-list actor is. So she's amazing. But the movie. So everyone was like, wow, this movie is so amazing. It's huge summer blockbuster with a lot of action, a lot of incredible scenes, and aliens were amazing and stuff like this. And I was super excited to go and see it because everyone were saying the same things. But I went, I saw it on IMAX 3D because that was the best way to see it. Once again, like Maleficent, there were no 3D effects. I mean, almost no 3D effects, almost no depth of field. They tried sometimes, but it really wasn't enough. But anyway, the movie. The movie has an interesting story overall, but as you may know, the day is repeating itself. Tom Cruise has to die and to improve every time. So the humanity could defeat the aliens, could know the way to defeat the aliens. He has to die, live through pretty much the same situations. He wakes up every time in the same place at the same time. So we have to see the same scenes over and over and over again, which many people said that it wasn't so annoying, but for me it was super annoying actually at times. Not always. The director definitely tries to mix it up, but if I have to describe it in some way, it was like now this is happening, then this is happening, that this is happening, that this is happening again, that this is happening, that this is happening again and again and again. Then different thing happened. Then we are back to the previous first thing that happened. Then we are back to something that we don't know if it's happening, but it turns out that it's happening. It's absolutely it's very fast paced, and you feel like there's two or three key moments and scenes, and after that it's the build up starts to kicks in, and it's all over. And it's all over like this. Overall, it's a big mess that is very interesting, big mess. It has some meaning. In the same time, there are so many plot things that are confusing, and then they're not really explained. So, what to tell you guys? I enjoyed this movie. It's not that I didn't. I enjoyed it, but it's not a big, huge blockbuster, summer blockbuster film that everyone makes it to be. It really isn't. I mean, you can see this movie anytime through the year and it will not make a difference. It really won't. There could be a lot more from the aliens in a way, because the movie really takes place in, let's say, 2 or 3 places. And of course, because the day is repeating itself, because that's in the same time the interesting thing about this movie and the not so interesting thing about this movie, and the thing that really gets on your nerves at times. 6.5 at best, it's a 7. Okay, let's say it's a 7 just because some of the cool fight scenes with Emily Blunt and Tom Cruise, and the action and how they all acted the situations, and the chemistry between them, the overall story, let's say, but not really because, as I said, there are some plot points and some things that are just kind of convenient, not really well or so well developed. So this movie, it is what it is, and I can say that I recommend it particularly, but if you like, you can go and see it if you can on 2D. It's really no use of the 3D, and the IMAX is just for the bigger screen, because these days it seems that no one gives a crap on how to make a good IMAX 3D and how to use IMAX. IMAX is just there at this point. Unless if it's a movie that is actually shot with IMAX cameras, like some of the scenes in the new Transformers movie will be. So that will be super cool to see, I think, especially judging by the trailer, because I've seen it in IMAX, and the 3D effects looks pretty cool, especially when particles are flying, when Optimus gets together, and there are just some cool scenes, so I hope that they used IMAX. I could have just skipped it. As I said, everyone are saying how great this movie is and how well they are surprised, and how this movie is even on the level of the old movies like Aliens, and you know, these old movies that are so classical, but there are a lot more things going on in them. You are just so into the movies the whole time, and this movie kind of takes you out of the action sometimes when you start to think about what is happening, why is happening, and no, not this scene again, not this, no, I'm sick of looking at Tom Cruise's face again in this scene, and Emily Blunt is doing the same thing, because Tom Cruise is meeting her again for the first time. So guys, really, Edge of Tomorrow is a good effort. It's an entertaining movie, but in the same time, really, you can just wait for it for the DVD release. It's not a big miss. It really isn't. So that's my review of Edge of Tomorrow. Please leave me any thoughts if you have about the movie, and in general, if you want to discuss it a bit more, maybe. And till next time with Gary G Reviews.